All right. Hello and welcome to tonight's Facebook Live session. Tonight is dedicated to the district's 4K program. And this session is especially for you, our families who want to know more about the learning opportunities that we are providing for our community's early learners. We're offering full day. We're expanding 4K programming to more schools, a clear strategy to really improve the learning outcomes for our diverse student community. And so we have the experts here tonight who are going to tell you all about 4K. For our families who need interpretation services in Hmong and Spanish, please check the comment section below for a link to our interpretation meeting room. My name is Marlita Bevenu. I'm from the MMSD communications team. And again, this evening, we are going to be joined by a 4K classroom teacher. Our Board of Education, newly elected Vice President is joining us tonight, and our District Director of Early Learning is also here. So let's just get into introductions and kick things off with Colleen.
Thank you, Marlita. My name is Colleen Mattoon. I'm Director of Early Learning for Madison Metropolitan School District. I've been with Madison for approximately 3 years, and before that, I was with Racine Unified for 8 years as Director of Early Learning in that district. So excited to be here tonight and happy to answer all of your questions. Marlita, did you want everybody else to introduce?
Yeah, Stacy, let's go with Stacy, and then we'll wrap up with Sabian.
So I'm Stacy Static. I teach 4-year-old kindergarten at Hawthorne Elementary School. I've been there for 18 years, and I've been in 4K for 3 years. So my background is 5-year-old kindergarten and first grade. And 3 years ago, I decided I really enjoy play-based learning and I really value it. And so I took the jump and I'm loving teaching 4K. And that's me.
So my name is Sabian Castro, currently serving on the Board of Education as the board's vice president. And 4K and childhood education, so early childhood education is a passion of mine, and so happy to be here tonight.
Thank you for joining us. So let's get right into it. I want to kick things off with Colleen, who is our district's early learning director. Talk to us, give us a little information, just an overview of the 4K programming. Talk about our recent 4K full day expansion and just the research behind the early learning model.
Okay. So 4K is about more than just learning ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's really about learning about children and all of their development. So when we focus on 4K, we really want to focus on not only language development, we want to build vocabulary, we want children to be able to maneuver their small muscles in their hands so that they can learn how to write and hold pencils. We want them to use their large muscles so that they can kick balls and they can run and jump and be able to maneuver those motor muscles as well. We also want to really focus in on social emotional development. So how do children, how do they self-regulate themselves, and how are they able to get their needs met? And also, how are they able to interact with other adults and be able to interact with one another and their peers and make friends, because that is a huge portion of learning in 4K is like, how do they learn those academic skills, but also wrap in that whole child development of the social emotional learning with them as well. So MMSD offers quality play-based 4K learning environments. And so what we do is we actually embed our academic standards right within our centers. So children think that they're playing and having fun, and teachers know exactly which objectives and standards that they're teaching in those centers that they set up. And then they are assessing children naturally in the environment as they're moving from center to center. Teachers also work one-on-one with students in small group instruction, as well as do some whole group instruction where they're might be reading stories aloud, might be doing individual lessons as well. So 4K really is a foundational piece for our MMSD vision. We want to make sure that every school will be a thriving school that prepares every student to graduate, ready for college, career, and community. And 4K is the foundation of that. So our program allows students to begin that educational trajectory, and we want to make sure that they're on track so that we're monitoring their growth and development right when they walk into our classrooms. The community really benefits from having 4K, and by Madison Metropolitan School District providing high quality early learning environments, all 4-year-olds are able to attend at no charge, and they are able, in order to be exposed to all of the same academic skills. Research is continually, especially in the last couple years, it's really been just blowing up the importance of early learning, and understanding that with the investment that we make in early learning, research is telling us that every dollar we invest in early learning, we earn $7 and back on that investment in the idea that we are not paying for remediation services, we're not paying for additional services when we can get our students to start out academically on track at the beginning of that education. It's also so important because, you know, the brain is growing and language is developing at a faster pace when you think about the brain research that is coming about and really telling us how important it is that we make those connections real young in life, because when children are very young, those neurons are firing in their brains and they're building those connections faster than they can ever build them later on in life. And so we really want to make sure that we are really attacking and using all of that time to the best of our ability.
Colleen, I want you to go into the expansion, and really that's a huge deal for us. More classes, more classrooms, more school sites. Talk about that. That is so exciting and groundbreaking for our district. Can you talk more about that, Colleen?
Definitely. So Madison School District, actually, every year we have approximately 1,700 4K students in our programs. And we offer these programs at 52 sites across the city. 26 of them are great community partner sites, and then 26 of them are elementary schools. As part of an initiative in order to uplift equity within our district and really focus in on literacy, the school district has decided to commit dollars to early learning of 4K and provide full day 4K programming. We found that research is telling us that kids learn even more academic skills with the amount of time that's on task, and that they make greater academic gains all around when they're attending the full day 4K programs. Now, our expansion for full day 4K is really exciting because we are expanding to 8 elementary schools, and those 8 elementary schools are Alice, Hawthorne, Kegel, Leopold, Lindbergh, Mendota, Orchard Ridge, and Sandburg. We are also offering those classes in English, but we have 3 schools that we are actually going to be offering bilingual programs for native Spanish speakers as well. And the 3 schools that the native Spanish speaker bilingual programs will be offered at will be Hawthorne, Leopold, and Sandburg. So we are very excited in order to offer programming. We will still offer our fabulous half-day program that will also be available along with transportation for families that are eligible and qualify for that.
Perfect. Colleen, do you want to share more? Should I go over to Stacy, who will have the classroom experience for our 4K students?
Sure.
Yeah, you all drive.
Yeah, if you want to, if you want to have Stacy talk a little bit about the 4K classroom experience and the curriculum and other things that they use, take it away.
Yeah, let's do it, Stacy.
Sure. Well, in the classroom, in the 4K classroom, to start, as Colleen said, we're all play-based. It's a play-based classroom, and so that is how it is very different from 5-year-old kindergarten. We are the same as 5-year-old kindergarten in the sense that we still follow the same standards. MMSD follows the standards. So we have them in 4K as well, and we work to meet those standards. We just approach it differently. We approach meeting the standards through a play-based learning. So the curriculum that we use is creative curriculum, and we use studies. So we might study insects, we might study recycling, we might study trees, small machines, clothing, building. There's all kinds of different things that we use, and we build on the student understanding and what they want to learn to focus on the academics and the standards through studies. So with that being said, as well as the fact that we use the standards, the benefits of a full day 4K will be that we can meet those needs through the study, using the studies, as well as our other curriculum, such as Second Step. Second Step is our social skills curriculum. As Colleen said, it's so important to teach the kids the social skills, their life skills. They need them for relationships, for working, for everything. So we work on our emotions, we work on friendship, we work on relationship building, problem solving, and play helps the kids to practice those skills. And so we need time to teach the kids those skills. We need time for the kids to actually apply those skills. And we need the time to also focus on the academics and the studies. So the entire long day gives us that opportunity to enrich the education, the learning, and the quality for the kids that we really want to do for them. So then what does the full day look like? Well, there's guaranteed 90 minutes of play in the morning, and then there's also some extra free play in the afternoon in the centers that we also have academic standards set up to the centers. There's also outdoor play for 30 minutes. There's outdoor play in the afternoon for 30 minutes. But when I say outdoor play, there's also activities. So we might set up, it could be a structured activity, but it's not required. There's different things that we do outside with the kids to facilitate cooperative play, working together, getting along, as well as some gross motor skills and even academics. We bring all of that outside. So then we have small group. The small group, the kids have a time every day to work in a differentiated group. So we're able to meet the kids that are at different levels. All the kids know different amounts of letters or numbers, counting. So we can put them in groups to really specifically make their academic program or individualized for them. And then the larger groups were able to review some of the main standards, the core standards, as well as go over the studies and our social skills. And then we have breakfast and lunch every day. The kids do that. We turn take, we build conversations with breakfast, going back and forth conversations on topics. At lunch, we do that as well. We also have a nap time, a quiet time. The kids are not required to sleep. They are given extra options. It could be books, it could be Play-Doh, it could be pipe cleaners to build things and creatively play, magnetic letters, magnetic numbers. They're given different things to do to have a time to calm their bodies. And I didn't mention name work, very huge and important. We do a lot of name work. We build a lot of letter learning with their name, sound with their name. And so that's a lot of the different things that we're doing. I think I mentioned a lot of the benefits. We can do all of that in full day. So
Yeah.
that's, yes. If there's more questions, I would love to share more, but yes, there's a lot going on, a lot of good things happening.
I do want to uplift this comment from Amy, who is totally into what when you were speaking, Stacy, and Amy is just saying play-based is amazing and is educational. I'm so glad our district is committed to this opportunity for our families. So Amy, thank you for tuning in. Again, this session is interactive. So if you have questions, if you have comments, put them in the comment section, and we will give you a shout out, and we will address your live question. So I just wanted to uplift that for Amy. Tell us more, Stacy. And Colleen and everybody.
I just wanted to jump in because it's really important that our district is committed to play-based learning. And our district has really stood strong on ensuring this. So often when districts want to uplift academics, they fall down that pit hole of either going to one way or the opposite. Madison has really stayed strong in saying we believe in engagement of children, whether it's in 4K or it's in any grade. And so that commitment to engagement of children and really focusing in on that social emotional development and growth and learning has been really strong, and something that I really, coming to Madison, I really appreciate the fact that not only does our school board, our teachers understand, our administration understand how important play-based learning is, but our families and our community understand it as well, and they really uplift it as well. So,
yeah, thank you, Colleen. There's a question from the audience, and I just want to uplift that, and I think this may be a good one for Colleen. Do you see the question from Dana? She is asking, are full-day kids guaranteed a spot at their homeschool placement?
Yeah, so there are eligibility requirements for the full day 4K. And one of the eligibility requirements are that students need to, that it is at their attendance area schools. So in order to be eligible for those programs, families must have an address or an alternate address, like a babysitter's address, that is in that attendance area in order to qualify to be enrolled in the full day programs. So the full day program for Mendota is for Mendota students. The full day program at Orchard Ridge is for Orchard Ridge students. The bilingual programs are a little bit different, and that is because there are multiple schools that feed to our bilingual programs. So in order to ensure that our classrooms are full and that we are, being fiscally responsible and maximizing our capacity with our students, we do have multiple elementary schools that feed to a bilingual classroom. And so, for example, there are 3 or 4 different elementary schools that would feed into the bilingual classes. But otherwise, for the other full day 4K classes, we are going to fill those with those attendance area families first. So when families want to enroll for full day 4K, you can actually go right online to MMSD and mmsd.org/enrollment, and you can find that enrollment link in order to enroll your students. You do want to enroll early because our programs will fill up, and once our full day programs are full, then families will be only eligible for the half-day program. So we have been getting lots of interest, and actually our board initially started with 3 full-day classrooms, and now we are up to 16 full-day classrooms. So really excited at the investment that our school board and superintendent has uplifted and focusing in on equity for early literacy. So again, enroll early, enroll soon. Full day will fill fast. And so if it is an option that you would like for your attendance area school, you can begin enrolling right away tonight.
Thank you, Colleen. I see that you touched on equity, and I've got to move right over to Savion Castro, our newly elected vice president of the board. Congratulations again, Savion. Let's jump right into that conversation. how this opportunity is equitable for students. I know that you have been immersed in this work and you're very passionate about it. So we want to hear from you. We haven't been ignoring you. I was trying to see when was the good time to bring you in. So yeah, we want to hear more about equity. We want to hear more about our opportunities for our students of color and our diverse student body.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's no secret that despite some of the resources we have in Madison, we have some of the largest opportunity gaps nationwide, and I think a lot of that starts at the at the childhood level, particularly, you know, no matter your race or income level, the first 5 years of your life are the most important 5 years, especially as your brain is developing. And a lot of the research shown and firsthand experiences have demonstrated that good, high quality childhood education at that age level can really set you up for success later in life. It kind of builds the foundation for learning and success later in life. Unfortunately, we don't really have a system for high quality care in Madison that is accessible to all families, particularly low income families. You know, we have some partial day 4K programs here in the school district. Unfortunately, for a lot of working families or families from that lower socioeconomic background, so transportation is an issue, or just making the schedules fit, finding another childcare provider that can watch over your kid while, you know, when they're not in school and you're still at work can be really difficult. There are some instances where families are paying up to $40,000 a year for this kind of service. And when we live in a county where 58% of Black families and 55% of Latinx families live in poverty, that's an issue of access. And so a lot of our children are being priced out of this really important opportunity in their life, when all the research and experience shows that access to full day 4K and even 3K, you know, you see better outcomes with in their reading outcomes and social emotionally as well, and just their relationship with school. So you know, lower rates of exclusion, like through suspension, for example. So this is a high leverage a policy that we see to really close these achievement gaps that we see here in Dane County. And in no way is this of the fault of families. It's just that, you know, the system has priced a lot of people out of this opportunity, which is unfortunate. So we see this as a strategy that can close those gaps, even as kids progress through the system.
Awesome. I actually see some questions that are coming up in the chat, and wondering if you'd like me to answer some of those. So when we decided to roll out the full day 4K expansion, we tried to accommodate the number of sections for the number of students in each of the schools in hopes that we won't have to displace as many students to neighboring elementary schools. So we're hoping that the majority of the students will be able to be placed in their attendance area school for full day 4K programming. Also, those families that are not interested in full day 4K programming will have a half day option 4K programming at a neighboring elementary school available for them as well. We are hoping to, we would love to be able to expand full day 4K across all of our schools and our community partner sites, because our plan for next school year is also to begin planning how to enroll it into our community sites as well. So we want to make sure that we're doing that in a purposeful way. We would love to roll it out, but the school district does not receive the same amount of funding for 4-year-old students as what they receive for kindergarten through 12th grade students. And so funding wise, it would be very hard for us to roll it out across the whole district. So right now, this is a plan to get started and an equity strategy to uplift it in our schools where we have the most need. And then there is a continual plan there is a plan to add additional sites. And we are hoping that this is also a policy issue that can be brought up in our government in order to provide quality early learning programs for all 4-year-olds across the state, not just a few.
Yeah, thank you so much for mentioning that. It is true, this is a systemic issue. The state only reimburses the school district, I believe, 0.6 for all 4-year-olds, which is why we've only been able to offer a partial day 4K. And so we made the investment and the commitment to, you know what, we're going to meet the other 0.4% so we can offer this to the full day for all of our families. And I know I've heard this from a few 4K teachers, and maybe Stacy can speak to this. But just having, even just having that partial day, you are just limiting the full range of options of play that kids can take part in, whether it be from lesson plans to, we just limit ourselves so much in terms of the impact that we can have on kids so they can be successful later on in life.
That's correct. Yes. It is limiting. As the teacher, all of these things we want to do, it's very limiting, and we can do so much more in full day.
Yeah, and as I said before, like 0 to 5 is the most important age range for anybody's life, particularly for folks who experience trauma early in their life while their brain is still developing. With trauma-informed care and early childhood care, we can begin to address some of those traumas so they don't snowball later in life. This is getting at disrupting the school to prison pipeline as well, in terms of addressing mental health needs early on. So again, those issues do not snowball later on in life as they become adults. So yeah, I think we all need to beat the drum for 0 to 5 care. I know the president talked about not only full day 4K, but 3K as well. We need to beat the drum for just comprehensive 0 to 5 care.
Madison Metropolitan School District also has a birth to 5 program for families that are not in our schools, and it's called Play and Learn. And Play and Learn is a great opportunity that families can come and they can play with their children, and we have staff there that actually will work with families in screening and available to answer any questions that they may have about child development, because it's really important that we focus in on this very early time in life when their brains are just growing and building and strong, and it's so exciting to see how fast and quickly they learn their language development and every other skill that they're learning at that time. I see a question in the chat about classroom ratios. So for our full day 4K program, for our half day 4K program, we try to keep our numbers at 18 students to 2 adults, and that would be 1 teacher and then an educational assistant as well. So our ratios are approximately about 1 to 9 for adult ratios, but 1 teacher per classroom. So we also have they can go up to approximately 20. We typically don't go over 20. It's very difficult in order to engage 4-year-olds when you have that many in a classroom at one time. So we try to ensure that our levels are very consistent in order to make sure that we're able to meet the needs of all of our students in the classroom at the same time. So Stacy, can you talk a little bit about how you engaged in play-based learning in kindergarten? Because I know that kindergarten teachers try to incorporate play into their programming as much as they possibly can. So I know that was a question that came up.
So as a kindergarten teacher, and the other kindergarten teachers in my building and are very dedicated, and they're very incredible teachers, but we would incorporate play where we could. Such as at individual work time, so we would try and do it then. There was more whole group learning, but during the whole group learning, we definitely had a lot of opportunities for the kids to have sharing and discussion protocols so that they could still engage and talk with each other. Sometimes those protocols would include music, so we did do things to engage students. So teachers are doing that. But the difference from what Colleen is saying, from what we are saying is 4K is set up strongly play-based, where 5K is not strongly play-based, but we as teachers still know and believe it's important, so we put it in where we can. A lot of our science activities will be play-based. So our science time will be an exploring time. We might use the GLAD strategies, which many of us were taught, an inquiry strategy, asking questions. Our social studies will try and, make that play-based. So we are definitely doing that, but it's different. It looks different. Mm-hmm. Did that kind of answer?
Yeah, that's great. I also love that one of the comments in the chat from Janet really talks about, Madison has some great home visiting programs. The RISE program, KinderCare. We have other programs, the Northeast Early Childhood Zone that has some great home visiting options that are available. And so, yeah, we really do have some great resources for our littles in this community. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad Janet brought that up because we do have great community partners. And I wanted you to talk more about like our collaboration with MEP and just other community partnerships to make this program and really possible and really come alive.
So we collaborate with an organization called MEP, which is the Madison Education Partnership. And the Madison Education Partnership is a partnership. It's a research practice partnership. And that's where the school district works directly with the University of Madison. And we are able to connect the school of research and then the everyday life of the actual school going on and be able to improve what we're doing. And it's so exciting that this partnership is really about improving. Not only are they researching things that have research value for the university, but we're also we're able to take those things and then we're able to improve what we're doing every day in our classrooms and promote high quality professional development. We've really focused in on 4K and 5K transition, where we've talked with 4K teachers and we've talked with kindergarten teachers to see like how can we improve that connection when you have 52 different sites across the city. Like how do you get them all in order to be on the same page? It's really difficult. So MEP has been a wonderful partner for us. They have been able to focus on literacy with us, attendance, enrollment strategies. We've done over 20 different research studies with the Madison Education Partnership, and it's really exciting to to see what we learn from the research that they do, and then how can we implement that research into our everyday lives and be able to focus in and improve what we're doing every day for outcomes for children. So it is so exciting to be able to have this university right next door to us that we can really engage with them. So it's so awesome.
I also, thank you, Colleen. I also see a question that I think is definitely for Savion. It is from Shayna. Let's go ahead and uplift Shayna. Thank you for joining us. It says, since the 4K program is rooted in equity and an equity lens, which is awesome, does that include recruiting and retaining a more diverse teacher pool that reflects the kids and families that they serve?
Yes, absolutely. In 2019, the district hired our first recruitment staff person with an intentional focus on just that, and recruiting and retaining more Black. The research on this is really clear. If a child just has one Black teacher in their K-12 experience, they're more likely to graduate, go to college, less likely to be suspended, and more likely to have a positive affiliation with their school. What's more is that I believe last year we increased the number of teachers of our color in our district by around 50%. I'll have to get that exact figure, but we are making changes and momentum. We recently made a change in how we go through our mandatory staffing layoffs, where it's not just by seniority, because that historically has been white, but instead we're going by cultural responsiveness now. So yes, that is a major priority of this board, and we have been putting resources into that recruitment of teachers of color, and we need to be committed to changing the culture so that we can retain those teachers of color in our district. We will be looking at strategies, frankly, from top to bottom, to be frank, whether that be recruiting folks from HBCUs around the country, or really having a strong grow your own program here in Madison, where we can provide scholarships for our own students or folks in our own community here in Madison to get their license and become teachers in Madison schools. But that will be really important, especially in those very in 4K and 5K, which are really important years for any child. There are dreams where, at some schools where we have every third grade teacher be a teacher of color, so that every child, as they go through the system, when they hit third grade, they'll have a teacher of color, which is also a very, very important year for our kids. So yes, absolutely, that will be really important. And the data is only showing us that as time goes on, our incoming cohorts of students are just getting more and more diverse. They're getting more and more Black and brown, to be frank. So it'll be really important.
Perfect. Does anyone want to jump in? And I hear we're trying to get Dr. Jenkins on here. Okay, we are trying to make sure that our superintendent gets on and can join the discussion and talk to our community as well. So he will be joining us within moments. So please bear with us. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and uplift some more questions. Is Colleen, Stacy, and Savion, are you cool with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. Do you see anything in the chat that you want to go ahead and uplift? Now I see a comment. Let's go ahead and from Sarah Jane Lee, who just says, "Thank you, Colleen, for all you do for the Madison schools. Youngest learners." So that one. Oh, there's also a question from our Spanish. We do have this session is being interpreted in Spanish and Hmong, and Marla can go ahead and drop the link if you want to join and you need those services. We are providing those tonight for this session. Colleen, we got a question from the Spanish interpretations Zoom meeting that just basically says, when will students know, or when will families know when they are accepted for the full day 4K program. So after enrollment, when will they know they're accepted?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are actually in the process. So enrollment opened the last week in February and the first week in March for all families to begin enrolling for 4K and 5K for next school year. And so what happens is they will gather up all of those enrollments for 4 to 6 weeks, and then they'll begin making placements. So this week we actually began making placements, and within the next couple weeks, if you have already enrolled in 4K, you should be receiving a letter from the school district, either by email or by mail, and that will actually let you know if what program you enrolled your child for and what one you were accepted for. So remembering that as our programs fill, we have other schools that will then fill. 4K doesn't necessarily enroll the same way that kindergarten through 12th grade does, because 4K is an optional program. We don't have the same number of students that we have in the kindergarten through 12th grade. So in order to make sure that we're fiscally responsible with our funding, we want to make sure that all of our programs are filling. So we have a system of filling programs, and 4K is also, we know that half-day programs are difficult for families, so we have to be really flexible with choices as well. So we do allow families to request to enroll at different locations. So if there's space available, we will allow families to enroll at alternative sites. So that's why if a family needs transportation, then transportation is only offered for their attendance area school, because that's how our transportation routes run. But if a family does not need transportation, they will actually get 3 choice options, and they'll be able to pick which schools that they'd like to enroll for 4K only. And again, that is only for 4K, because 4K enrollment is very different because it's the half-day program, and we know that we have to be flexible for families to make it available to more families. So families should be hearing within the next week or so. Those letters should start rolling out, and they should be hearing whether or not they've been placed in the full day program. If they've already enrolled, they'll get a letter stating. If you get a letter and it is not the placement that you'd like and you need to change that, you can always contact our enrollment department and work with them in order to find a program that fits your family's needs. So we have great programs in our schools, but we also have great programs in our community sites, and our community sites also provide that before and after school wraparound care that so many of us need in order to be able to have working families have their children in school. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Colleen. At this point, I want to go ahead and bring Dr. Jenkins into the conversation. Our MMSD superintendent is joining us tonight. I'm going to take a back seat and step out and bring him to the forefront so that he can join you all in the conversation and also be here for our community to answer their questions and again, just be present, and just be involved like he always is. So let me go ahead and bring him up now. I'm going to, like I said, I'll step back, but I'll see you back here.
Okay. While we're waiting for Dr. Jenkins to come up, I just wanted to answer the question. In order to take part in full day 4K or in full or half day 4K, your child needs to be age 4 by September 1st. So they won't expand that birthday enrollment. They will only be they need to be age 4 by September 1st. So that doesn't ever change. So that's the age cutoff.
Okay. Listen, I'm having some technical challenges, but give me a moment and we will bring Dr. Jenkins on in just one moment. So, all right. Oh, Stacy, you can please keep the conversation going while I go ahead and figure this out.
Sorry about that.
So we were talking about the benefits. So one of the other benefits is with the community schools. Hawthorne is part of a community school. And being a part of the community school, we have extra resources available to us. Parent liaisons, we have rooms for families to go to. There's not enough that I can give you information on regarding all of the services that community schools can and do provide, but we do provide a big range of opportunities. Hello.
I think we're having some difficulties getting the box screens. But yeah, you know, a big benefit to our community schools provide are wraparound services for families to access. So it really embodies our schools being a interactive community hub for families that help children access food, for example, so that, you know, they have food in their stomach so they're ready to learn and play with their peers during the day, or just many services that a lot of our families experiencing poverty in Dane County could really use and help them out outside and inside the classroom, because our kids do not learn in a vacuum. They learn out in the community, and the community really needs to be a part of our schools and classrooms as well, which is something that Dr. Jenkins has really highlighted and underscored since he joined our district.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome. Hey, let me tell you, I am so excited to be here. I've been here listening to this conversation, and I am very enthused by the things that I'm hearing in terms, excuse me. Wow. I've been waiting a while to get in. Excuse me. Haven't coughed like that today, but I've been waiting to get in, and then now that I'm in, I'm coughing. But I just wanted to say I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to joining the conversation with all of you. Thank you for the questions. The latter part of what Mr. Castro said, you know, my philosophy as an educator and superintendent, and teacher, all of it has been about putting the schools in the community and the communities in the schools. And you really, this topic tonight, 4K, is just an exciting topic, as I have been involved with this. Actually birthed out prenatal all the way through for about 28 years, and been in conversations around the world just about learning at the earliest level, doing a lot of conversation and concentration on prenatal care. And when you look at Wisconsin, we talk about the birth rates. All of that prenatal care leads to a higher probability of a successful birth, and then learning actually starts in the womb. And so I'm excited to hear the various things that's coming up, in particular when individuals, I think there was a question in the chat about play-based learning. I think that's critical for us to continue to do that, because our children learn in many ways. I'm very excited also how we're including our 4K expansion into our schools. 50% of our most impoverished schools are going to have 4-day 4K, which is very intentional, because we do know the disruption of when you're having half-day programs for many of our families. And so very excited about that. And as we spoke about, you know, the future of it, when Mr. Castro spoke eloquently in terms of the lack thereof support, I've advocated on a state and federal level. I'm part of a consortium with other superintendents, which I've led groups on this whole notion about funding early childhood across the spectrum. And so I was glad to hear the president speak about it last night, and also even in our own governor's budget, talking about the investment that we need to make in education, but not just even the formal, what we see in terms of the 4K programs we have within our school, which we're going to expand, which I'm excited about that, but also partnering with other early learning programs in our community. I think this is an area in which we have to take on and can't be overly concerned about. Just a lot of times when we do the early learning, we think it has to all be public. There are some private entities in which we can do cross-sectional planning to ensure that every child in our community have a quality early learning experience, and that we can work together in serving all the entities, be it a mom and pop shop, be it a small private early learning program. But I think what we're trying to do, I'm very excited about it and looking forward to having more conversations with our entire community, because if we're going to get it right, we must start early. And early learning is definitely the place to happen. I'm very excited that we have Colleen, who has extensive experience over in Racine, and some of our other staff, our teachers. I think we're just all excited to be working in this together. And I'll stop right there. I've been trying to get in now for the last half hour, so I'm excited and have a lot to say, but I'll stop right there.
Oh, and I just want to thank you, Dr. Jenkins, for your support of Full Day 4K, really being a huge driver. You know, when the superintendent of a school district uplifts the importance of early learning and really drives that forward, that's when you really start to see those gains being made in early learning. It's about the leadership really supporting it, advocating. The board really supported Full Day 4K. That's why this was all able to be possible. So I'm very excited about just the drive and the support of the program. So I just wanted to recap again, for anyone, if you have any questions about Full Day 4K, we have information on our website. If you go to the MMSD website and look under departments, we have an early learning website where all of our information about Full Day 4K is there. We also have lots of information about Play and Learn, which is our prenatal through 5 program, where it is a play-based program that we have 16 different locations across the city, where families can take part in play-based learning with their children. So that's really exciting as well. So if you have any questions for us, we are always available. On our website, there is a little red tab at the bottom corner that says contact us, and just, you know, feel free in order to drop any questions in there and put it to early learning, and we can answer any questions that you have about Full Day 4K, Half Day 4K, any of our 52 community partner sites, any of our program curriculum, or any other assessment questions that you might have. So I just want to thank everyone for participating, and I will open it up if there are any last questions that I can answer for people, or if Marlita, if you would like to join in or jump in a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going to jump in here and say that, you know, I'm really appreciative that we have, there we go, that we have Stacy, Colleen, and Dr. Jenkins trying to make this what it can be, because I think, you know, across the country, you know, they're really, as far as I know, especially in Dane County, Wisconsin, there is not a fully fleshed out system for Full Day 4K, 3K, as Dr. Jenkins said, prenatal care. But that's where all the research is pointing us to, is how important prenatal to 5K is in terms of setting somebody up for success. So I really think that we can set a model here and demonstrate with our results how important this will be, that all K-12, that all public education systems implement, you know, good, high quality child care into their systems. Because, you know, some families can access it, but that's because they have means and money. And so that's how we start seeing these opportunity gaps develop between our kids, which is just not acceptable.
Yes, MMSD is committed to the high standards in 4K. We know what they are, we're working toward them, and further, you know, we want the kids to keep going. We have kids in 4K now who have advanced some of those standards. You know, we are just working with all of them. And I love how it's, we're working with our community schools. I'm a part of a community school, and as I had said, I can't tell you everything, and that's because it's unlimited. There's our director of for our community schools is constantly searching, how can we help our community better? What ways can we do this? So you know, we're reaching out. We want to do better. We want to do more. And so being a part of this program with Full Day 4K is going to benefit families and students as well.
Yeah, and let me just also share, as much as I've been involved with this, and we want our children to reach the highest standards. The first standard is teaching our children how to love and have humanity. Let's not get so overly concerned about the outcomes till we forget about our children. They're still children, they're developing, they're in the infancy. So I say, let's come with asset-based thinking about what they can do, the endless possibilities, and let's not drive home. You can have high expectations and give love at the same time. This is about humanity, and our children are going to learn so many wonderful things when they're coming into these initial learning programs about just how to interface with one another. That's critical. We can't forget that. Yes, they will get the numbers. Trust me, they will get the numbers. They will get the literacy piece. They will get all of that. But the first thing is just how to interact. And I think right now in our nation, we could take some lessons from these children, how they share that space and able to get their work done. So I'm encouraging our entire community, let's get involved, really get involved, and let's push one another. But remember, our children are the most important things that we have, not just the outcomes. Yes. We will get the outcomes, and we're not shooting for the minimum outcomes. We want our children to be able to be whatever they want to be, not only just in our local community, but national and international communities.
Yes. Thank you for highlighting that so much. A signature symbol at the end of every single one of my Zoom meetings with all of my students. We give each other love. We talk about love, you know, that's the most important thing. Yep. Sometimes some of them, we can't end it without doing that. We can't end the meeting. Yeah.
I love that, Stacy, because, you know, over this past year, we've had to learn so many new features of how to do things differently. How do we do school differently? How do we build relationships differently? How do we do everything has been just a new experience throughout the year, and we have all been learning and growing how to do that. So that's an awesome experience. I also would like to just remind families about enrolling for 4K. If you have not had a chance to enroll for 4K yet, we are already enrolling now for 4K. So it's really important that we enroll early in order to get the space available for the program, so that way you can get the program that meets your family's needs.
Well, thank you. I do hope that y'all enroll and you enroll early. And yeah.
So as well, we also have, I just wanted to reiterate the schools. We have information on our website. So check our website out and you can see all of the information about our full and half day programs. You can also check out the information about our play and learn programs. That there is also enrollment for those play and learn programs as well. So feel free. We do have play and learn programs in English and Spanish as well as our full and half day programs are in English and Spanish as well. Our community sites, we are located at 26 different community sites and 26 different elementary schools across the city. So please feel free in order to check out all of that information online as well. I just want to turn it over for one last comment. Again, I am so excited about our full day 4K program, and I am here to answer any questions. So feel free to contact me through our website. That little red tab in the bottom corner of our website says contact us. You can put my name or the Department of Early Learning, and I will get that message, and we can answer any questions that you have about our early learning programs or 4K. Savion, do you have one last comment? And we'll just kind of go around and each person can say one last thing before we close out for tonight.
Thank you. I think I've said everything I have had to say. Thanks everyone for joining us and learning more about this. Dr. Jenkins, Stacy, anything that y'all would like to part us with?
I would just, go ahead, Stacy, please.
I just wanted to say thank you again as well. As you've already said, 4K, 4-year-olds and younger, it's so crucial that we meet them where they are at that age and help them. So I'm just very pleased and happy that Madison is taking on this and working toward meeting the district, the community needs. So thank you.
Yeah, and I would just like to say, you're hearing it here first. And just depending upon how things are happening with the science of where we are right now, because we definitely want to be socially responsible. But I can't wait because I want to put it on the calendar and have the big ice cream party for our 4K students who are coming in to the fall of 21. So look out for the date based upon how things are going. And in each district I've been in, I try to welcome the 4K and the kindergarten students to school with a party. So hopefully socially acceptable now. We got to follow all the rules here in Dane County, CDC. And even if we have to do something very spatially, that's what we're looking to do. But look out for that invitation because this is a big deal, 4K. And welcome to everybody to MMSD. It's going to be just a wonderful experience for you.
Oh,
the CDC does recommend a scoop of ice cream every once in a while.
Thank you all for joining us. And Dr. Jenkins, thank you for taking time in order to come and pop into our session as well. We appreciate all of our speakers tonight, but we also appreciate all of our families. We are here to serve our families and absolutely love to help you out with your educational journey with your children. So if you have any questions, again, you can contact us through the website. Enroll early and enroll now. 4K and 5K enrollment is up and running, and we are ready to see you. So thank you so much for attending, and we appreciate you. Thank you.